Today let's solve a problem from the publication Romanian Mathematical Magazine. So the problem wants us to solve for real numbers that satisfy the following equation over here, which is 6x minus x squared is equal to 3 times by square root of 3 over the square root of the whole expression, which is x power 4 minus 12x cubed plus 36x squared plus 1, and then we'll plus 1 in the denominator over there. So to begin solving this equation over here, we'll actually try to simplify this equation over here, which will first let t to be equal to 6x minus x squared. And then what we'll note is that this whole expression over here is actually equivalent to the expression t squared. So this means that this transforms our original equation into the equation t is equal to 3 times by square root of 3 over the square root of t squared plus 1 plus 1. And you can see that because t is a real number over here, this tells us that t is actually greater than 0 in this case. Because t squared can be non-negative, but then in the expression over here, it means that t must be bigger than 0. So now what we'll do is that we can actually multiply the denominator onto the left hand side. So we'll get this is t times by square root of t squared plus 1 is equal to 3 times by square root of 3. And then now let's actually multiply this. So we have this is t times by square root of t squared plus 1. And then I'll move the t term to the right hand side. So this is 3 times by square root of 3 minus t. And then what we'll do is that we'll square both sides. So squaring both sides, what we'll get is that this is equivalent to having the equation t squared times by t squared plus 1 is equal to 27 minus 6 square root of 3t plus t squared. And then we can cancel off the t squared term both sides. So what we're left with by rearranging everything, we'll get this is equivalent to t to the power 4 plus 6 times by square root of 3t minus 27 is equal to 0. And then now over here we see that this is a polynomial, but then the coefficients are actually not rational coefficients, but we can actually try to guess the root of it. And then by guessing the root, you can actually see that this equation over here contains the root t is equal to square root of 3, which is a root. So this means that we can actually factor this polynomial over here, which is we have the factor t minus square root of 3. And then now you see that we must have the remaining part as t cubed as the leading coefficient. And then what we're left with the constant part is 9 times by square root of 3. And I'll write this equal to 0. And then we just have to guess the remaining terms. So you know that the coefficient for the expression t cubed over the original polynomial over there is equal to 0. So now in order for us to compensate the negative square root of 3 formed by negative square root of 3 times by t cubed, we must have a term which is square root of 3t squared. And then by a similar reasoning, you see that the remaining term is 3t. So you can actually check that this expression over here expands out to the original equation, where we have the coefficient of t is 6 times by square root of 3, and the coefficient for t squared is 0. And now recall that we know that t over here is greater than 0. So this shows that this expression over here is greater than 0 for all t being greater than 0. So this means that there is no extra root other than t is equal to square root of 3. So this holds if and only if we have that t is equal to square root of 3. But what is t? Well, recall that t is equal to 6x minus x squared, and then we know this is equal to square root of 3. And then this is actually a quadratic equation in terms of x. So we know we have that x squared minus 6x plus square root of 3 is equal to 0. And then by using the quadratic formula, what we'll get is that x must be equal to 6 plus or minus square root of 6 squared minus 4 times by square root of 3. So we have this 36 minus 4 square root of 3 over 2. And then now we can actually divide the two top and bottom, which then you can see that this whole thing simplifies into 3 plus or minus square root of 9 minus square root of 3. And then you can see that in either case, x is a valid solution to the equation on the top. So this means that we have two solutions for this equation over here, which is 3 minus square root of 9 minus square root of 3, or 3 plus square root of 9 minus square root of 3. And so we are done for this problem over here. If you want to solve more algebra problems, then be sure to check out this video over here.